In 1982, Jerome Bruner wrote, "The first object to any act of learning, over and beyond the pleasure it may give, is that it should serve us in the future." If our education must serve us in the future, then it follows that our teachers must ask themselves, what lessons are necessary for our girls in their lives and in their learning? What skills do our girls need now and in the future? And therefore, what is life-worthy learning?
Life-worthy learning is learning that matters for our girls, now and into the future. Life-worthy learning incorporates the development of foundational knowledge and broad interdisciplinary understandings which are underpinned by contemporary skill development and embrace global perspective taking. It therefore follows that as I connected my understanding of life-worthy learning to the Global Action Research Collaborative topic, the Global Reset, New Opportunities for Educating Girls, I was left thinking about how our young girls in Australia, who are geographically isolated, can engage in life-worthy learning which allows them to participate as active global citizens now and in their future. We know from research, particularly PISA's 2018 Global Competence Assessment, that girls are less likely than boys to learn about the interconnectedness of global economies, be asked their opinion by teachers about international news, participate in discussions about world events, or analyse global issues with their class. Now more than ever, we must ensure that girls' schools incorporate life-worthy learning programs to develop global competence skills. Therefore, my action research project focused on how a global competency learning program could impact girls' curiosity for global knowledge and a disposition to participate in positive global action. The program included 2 key strategies which were purposefully implemented to support the action research. They were an international collaboration via e-classrooms and the implementation of global thinking routines.
This action research project took place at Kambala, an independent Anglican school in Sydney, Australia for girls up to 18 years. We are a non-selective school which offers the New South Wales Higher School Certificate and International Baccalaureate Diploma. The school values of courage, curiosity, humanity and respect underpin the academic, social and emotional development of Kambala girls as we strive to be empowered women of integrity. Twice a week, Year 5 students were met to work on their research projects. We spent time collaborating with our peers in Belvedere College in Dublin, Ireland. To start with, we shared stories about where we live, our hobbies and our favourite foods. It was very interesting to hear about the similarities and differences we had. Next, students at both schools began researching the impact of climate action in their local areas. Each week we spent time reflecting on our learning by writing to our peers on a virtual discussion board. We would also use this time to pose questions about climate change and action in Dublin. To support the reflection process, we used global thinking routines to critically examine the discussion ideas. The global thinking routines we used are the 3 whys, step in, step out, step back, how else and why, circles of action.
It might sort of matter to us because if we throw things away, you're kind of wasting the money, but you could be reusing it or donating it or using it for like different purposes.
Yeah. I agree with that. It could also be for our mental health.
Yeah.
So it might affect us seeing how our environment is so different, how it's dirty, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And also it's like when the greenhouse gases get out and for the whole thing, the whole world is full of animals, right? So when animals start to get extinct and start to die, the whole food chain like lessens and lessens until it's like, for instance, lions and lions left. Like they're not going to eat each other. So like eventually the food chain and all animals are going to die.
Yeah,
down.
and like also when you grow older and then you get to the point where you have kids and grandchildren, your grandchildren and kids might not have the same experience that you had growing up. So for example, you could be like, oh look in the internet, a polar bear, and then they could be like, what the hell is a polar bear?
Yeah.
So like different experiences growing up could like affect them a lot and change.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like now, like as it matters to us, like it would make our environment less enjoyable. Like seeing it totally wasted, knowing 2 sides of the story, it's not going to be as enjoyable for us or like future generations.
Yeah.
And with all like the animal extinctions, the food chains would go down because like they technically all eat each other to live. So it wouldn't really make sense if there are only like 2 and then there's a whole gap of the food chain.
Yeah.
Totally.
And then to other people around the world, it could destroy their homes.
Yeah.
So more people living on the streets is not what we want.
Yeah, and like we're trying to lessen that. Like we're trying to bring as much poverty down as we can, and with all of the excess waste and stuff, it's just going to keep going on.
Yeah, and like we also from it spend a lot of money, because I'm pretty sure the average family throws out like approximately like $30 million on money and food that doesn't get eaten a year. So like you would spend like a lot of money and waste it, because it all just goes to like the bin.
Totally. And like leading to like bigger problems, like the excess consumption is going to lead to more productive production of unneeded goods, eventually leading to bigger problems like global warming and like climate change and all that problems that's going to be unfixable.
Yeah. Miss Sweeney, what do you think are the most significant outcomes of the action research?
Well, for my action research project, I used the research question of how does a global competency learning program strengthen Year 5 girls' curiosity for global knowledge and participatory disposition towards transformative global action? I was very interested to watch the girls participate in the program, and I found they were all really engaged in the lessons and particularly relished the time to collaborate with each other and their peers at Belvedere College. After analysing the data, I determined 3 overarching themes. The first one was knowledge sharing through sustained peer dialogue strengthened the girls' curiosity for global knowledge. During the Global Competency Learning Program, a space was created to engage the girls in sustained dialogue, which was key to developing their curiosity and knowledge about global issues. The knowledge sharing framework included both synchronous and asynchronous opportunities for discussion. The resulting sustained dialogue provided the girls with the opportunity to share knowledge in a synchronous manner with their peers in the classroom, and asynchronously through virtual discussion boards in the e-classroom. During the e-classroom lessons, the girls took ideas from their international peers and then discussed it with each other in the group. Soon knowledge travelled between groups, often leading to whole class discussions. It became evident that the girls' connections with their international peers was the catalyst to build their understandings, and therefore creating a larger network of knowledge sharing and increased curiosity for other people's perspectives.
Mrs. Sweeney, what was your second finding?
The second theme I found from the data was collaboration developed the girls' courage to participate as a learning collective and evolve from individual dreamers to collective doers. Initially, I found the girls worked independently through research tasks to build global knowledge and plan their actions. They allocated roles, researched autonomously, and participated in unbelievable fact-sharing sessions. However, initial excitement waned as the responsibility to become a change maker weighed heavily on such young minds.
Mrs. Sweeney, I remember telling you that I dreamed about being a saviour, but as I began to learn more about taking action, I just realised that girls our age just simply can't do it.
I remember you saying that, Charlotte, and I remember lots of the other girls agreeing with you. But what was great was that over time, that the girls grew in their capacity to use the defined structures to participate in collaborative tasks. E-classroom and face-to-face knowledge sharing, as well as the structure of thinking routines, supported the girls to shift into a collaborative mindset. Taking part in these structured processes resulted in the building of individual confidence, a positive shift in self-efficacy, and the motivation to collaborate. Notably, as the girls felt the benefits of collaboration, their courage to engage with a participatory disposition increased.
I think the most impactful part of the research was creating my action. I feel like it helped me collab better with my friends and my peers, and it sort of gave me a greater insight on the research that we were doing.
I agree, Poppy. I think it was really good that we got to educate Year 1 girls and listen to their opinions as well, and not just ours as a year group.
Mrs. Sweeney, do you have any final thoughts to share with us?
I found that global thinking routines facilitated critical thinking, encouraged rich discussions, and cultivated curiosity. The shift in confidence with global thinking routines as a scaffold for critical thinking and collaborative discussion led to opportunities for nuanced thinking, generating a deeper understanding of topics and a curiosity to learn more. It was evident that the consistent use of thinking routines provided a scaffold which cultivated the girls' curiosity and resulted in a progressively dynamic and louder classroom. Often, conversations would take place concurrently as ideas grew or maybe were rebutted. Charlotte, I am so glad that we're able to do this project at Kambala because I really feel like it was beneficial to all the girls who are involved. I'd really like to see how we can use parts of the program in curriculum lessons, and I'd love to see us continue international collaborations in the junior school. I thank you very much for interviewing us today, and I am wondering, do you have any final thoughts about the Global Competency Learning Program?
For me, being part of the project was a really good experience. I learned a lot more about climate, and I think I'm a much stronger person and I know a lot more about taking action, and I think it's a really good life skill for us.